Hello my Wolfpack and welcome back to another competitive guide video where today we are covering Sandy Shocks, which funnily enough I thought was called Sandy Socks in the beginning because it had legs and I didn't see the H. But yeah, this thing is actually a really cool mon and I really like it. I know a lot of people really don't like it, but actually in terms of its capabilities it has got some bulk, natural like okay bulk. It's got a really high special attack stat at base 121 and base 101 speed means that it can outspeed base 100 quite nicely. Now, useful moves, there are tons and tons of useful moves on this thing. You've got Body Press, which you can raise up your defense using Iron Defense, which I think I've put on the list somewhere. Yeah, Iron Defense is on that list as well. So Iron Defense Body Press combination, really fantastic. Discharge, powerful electric type attack. Obviously, I can mention that in doubles as well because 1, it can hit multiple Pokemon, and 2, it's quite powerful. Next, we've got Earth Power, which is a stab attack as well, and allows the chance to lower the special defense by 10%, or sorry, 10% chance to lower the special defense. Flash Cannon, which is a powerful steel type attack, again, hits pretty hard. Light Screen, being able to set up the special defense of your team as well. Same with Reflect, being able to set up your defense. Power Gem, powerful rock type attack, allows you to hit a lot of different Pokemon for some kind of damage. Spikes and Stealth Rocks, which allows you to be able to set up a good amount of hazards with this mon, just specifically being this mon alone. Thunderbolt, powerful electric type attacks, really strong, boosted by stab. Thunder Wave, paralyzing Pokemon, halving their speed, can be really useful. Tri Attack, strong normal type attack, and also Volt Switch to be able to get out of there in scenarios where it might be a little bit troublesome. Then we've got the doubles, which honestly the best move that I could see on there was Metal Sound and Screech. Metal Sound lowers the special defense by 2 stages of the opponent's Pokemon, and then Screech lowers the defense by 2 stages of the opponent's Pokemon. So actually it can work really well as a supportive Pokemon in lowering down the stats of the opponent's Pokemon, meaning that you can then use your ally to hit in really hard on this. And not to mention this thing has quite good speed, so you could chuck even a Choice Scarf on this, just chuck it into Screech or Metal Sound depending on what your allies are, and then just keep on using that on the Pokemon, and that's just going to cause problems for the opponent. In terms of Terra types, I've got 3 Terra types which work quite well here. Now looking at the weaknesses, obviously you've got a weakness to ground, you've got a weakness to grass, you've got a weakness to ice, and I believe that is it from my quick look. Oh, water as well. Now, if you turn to a flying Terra type, you do get rid of 3 of those weaknesses, and you actually resist 2 of them. Or you don't resist 2 of them, you resist 1 of them, and you're immune to 1 of them. So in terms of the flying, that can work really nicely, but you do still have that weakness to ice, so you do need to be careful. Obviously, you can mitigate that with the fact that you have got a rock type attack and also a steel type attack, which can hit them for super effective damage. So that's a potential thing to consider there. You've then got grass, which again is hit with the super effective ice aspect, but you do get rid of your ground type weakness and also your water type weakness and also your grass type weakness. So it can work slightly better than flying because it resists 3 of the 4 weaknesses but still keeps 1 of them. And then water, which means that you're getting rid of the ground weakness, the ice weakness and the water weakness, but you are still left with the grass weakness. So water and grass, I would say, probably are going to be the best Terra types in this scenario. You could definitely go completely out of the box and go for something like steel types if you wanted to, which would resist everything except the ground. You know, there's no perfect typing with this situation, but I would say grass and water are probably your best options with regards to this, and it also allows you to hit a few different Pokemon for quite a bit of damage, especially if you want to run Terra Blast on it for any reason. Now moving on to our Sandy Shocks, what movesets I have 4 normal movesets in terms of singles and 1 double set. First set is going to be a Choice Scarf set. Realistically, this is one of probably the most common sets that I'd imagine people will use, and allows you to be able to get some damage off, but also allows you that switch ability, which is really helpful. Photosynthesis, if you run this in a Sun team, you can get 1.3 times power in your special attack, which is really useful because obviously that will cause more damage to the opponent, meaning that you're less likely to take damage from hits. Electric type attack, Thunderbolt, powerful stab, hits really hard on a lot of different Pokemon. Obviously it's your stab move, really destructive. Earth Power, again boosted by your stab and ground type attacks. We know ground type is one of the best typings in the game, so realistically can hit so well across the board there. I've put Discharge on here because I thought that would be an interesting one to use, especially considering it does have the increased chance to paralyze. I believe it's 30% chance to paralyze, whereas Thunderbolt only has a 10% chance to paralyze. But if you wanted to run something like Flash Cannon or Power Gem or even Tri Attack, you can definitely run that over the discharge there. I just thought that it's an interesting move to chuck on there. And then Volt Switch, allowing for you to be able to switch out into another Pokemon. Now this thing could be a lead Pokemon. You can run it as a hazard setup lead, or you can run it as a Choice Scarf Volt Switch lead, which is really, really nifty. So yeah, Volt Switching, getting out of there, getting some upward momentum, getting a different Pokemon in can be really helpful. EV wise, you've got max speed and max special attack with a timid nature, so more speed, less attack, and 4 EVs in special defense. I would 100% recommend staying in the timid, because if you go for the modest, you risk lowering down your speed enough that any Scarf Pokemon from about base 85 and above with the plus speed nature will be able to outspeed you, causing you some problems. So you want to be as fast as possible here, because you can definitely outspeed the plus speed base 100 Pokemon Scarfs, which are very common. Moving on to the second Sandy Shocks, we have got the Iron Defense Body Press set, which works really nicely. It's kind of a build-up set in a way. We've got leftovers on here to get some recovery. Obviously, Photosynthesis is the only ability that this gets. If you've got like a Wish Passer or something, that could work nicely, or if you're running this in doubles, going for a Pollen Puff support could definitely work. But you've got Iron Defense, allowing you to raise up your defense by 2 each time. So going from 322 to 644 to, I think overall that went up with like 1,200 and something, which obviously is going to be huge. Now, if you then use Body Press after that, obviously that goes in the defense stat as opposed to the attack stat, and that will be able to really obliterate the vast majority of Pokemon that you're going to see. Not to mention the fact that you can use Light Screen to increase up your special defense, meaning that you're going to take less damage from the special side as well. You do need to be cautious. The only thing that I think would be the big concern here is if you got Toxic, so do be very careful with that, and you might want to run a Heal Bell just in case of this. You could even run a Lumberry if you wanted to, but again, kind of you do put yourself in danger with this. You've then got Charge Beam, which has a 70% chance, I believe it's 70% chance, just want to double check that, 70% chance to raise the user's special attack by 1 stage. So realistically, 7 out of 10 times you're going to get a +1 in your special attack, meaning that you are going to start getting more powerful charge beams, and every time you use charge beam you have a chance to increase up your special attack further, which means that ultimately you're just going to increase your power over and over and over again. So this whole thing is designed to increase up your defenses and also your special attack, causing so many problems for your opponent. The only thing it lacks is reliable recovery, which if it did, this thing would be broken as anything. But EV wise, I've gone for max HP, max defense with a bold nature, so more defense, less attack, and 4 EVs of special attack. The idea here being that it is mostly focused on the Iron Defense Body Press set, but if you wanted to run like max HP, max special attack, and then just work on the Light Screen and the Iron Defenses around it, then definitely that is an option for you to be able to run. But yeah, this thing, I really love this set. I think it works really, really cool if you can definitely set it up. You just have to be a little bit patient, and you have to be cautious of what your opponent is running in terms of your weaknesses. Moving on to the third Pokemon, we have got Heavy Duty Boots on here. Realistically, you might end up coming in on some hazards. Now, you're not going to take too much from hazards, but I thought Heavy Duty Boots, you know, can stop you from taking damage. But you could run any sort of berries, leftovers. You could probably run Absorb Bulb or something like that even. I don't know. There's lots and lots of things that you could run on here that would make sense. Red Card. Yeah, a variety of different things. Move-wise, you've got Stealth Rocks and Spikes, the idea being that you set up as many hazards as you possibly can. You've got Thunder Wave, 1, it halves the speed of your opponent, and 2, gives them, I think it's 25% chance to be paralysed, which obviously is absolutely huge and can allow you to then pull more shenanigans with setting up hazards, and you can Volt Switch into another Pokemon, especially with your speed giving some damage, and seeing what the opponent's doing so they could switch or not switch, and you can then make your decision based on that. EV wise, I've gone for max speed, max HP with a timid nature, so more speed, less attack, and 4 EVs and special defense here. The idea being that this thing is fast, but it still has a little bit of bulk from the HP there. You could run it as just fully bulky if you wanted to, like full defense or special defense. It's entirely up to you how you decide to run that, but you know, I'd recommend with this. So I think item wise, Heavy Duty Boots isn't the best item, but it's an item to show off, and you know, there are lots and lots of different items that you can try and run with this thing. Moving on to the fourth set, I have got a Light Play screen set. So Light Screen and Reflect. Light Screen doubles your special defense, Reflect doubles your defense, which obviously really, really handy. and Light Clay extends the turns from 5 to 8, meaning that you've got longer time to be able to do what you need to do. Then, in terms of moves, I've gone for Thunderbolt and Earth Power, your 2-stab attacks. Obviously, they hit really hard. EV-wise, max speed, max special attack, 4 EVs and special defense. You could run max HP, max special attack if you wanted to. Several different ways of running this, but it's up to you how you decide you personally want to kind of deal with this. Moving on to the final set, the double set, we have got a Metal Sound Screech support set along with Discharge. Now, if you have a ground type Pokemon next to you that somehow resists water type, so let's say, for example, a Clodsire that has Water Absorb, then you can definitely start running some shenanigans alongside Sandy Shocks. So with this, you would have the opportunity to use Metal Sound or Screech to lower the defense or special defense of your opponent's Pokemon by 2 stages, meaning that anything that's hitting them is going to hit them twice as hard. So essentially it's similar to raising up your special attack with Nasty Block. Then you've got Discharge. Discharge, obviously if you're running a ground type next to you that is just going to absorb that, or a Volt Absorb Pokemon, that's just going to absorb that itself as well. And the Discharge should hopefully hit both of the Pokemon that are opposite you. And then Earth Power is just a ground type coverage move as well. You could definitely put a screen on there if you wanted to, depending on what you were running, maybe like Light Screen if it's like Clodsire or something, but definitely that would work really, really well in your favour. Metal Sound and Screech, I think this thing can run really, really nicely to kind of break down a lot of kind of defensive Pokemon in doubles. So that's definitely what I'd really recommend. You could go for a few different EV sets. You could go for the standard fast special sweeper, so max speed, max special attack. You could go max HP, max special attack, max HP, max special defense, max HP, max defense, max HP, split defenses. Lots and lots and lots of different options that you're able to run there. With regards to this, leftovers, as I said, is one item you can use, but as I said at the beginning of the video, you can even chuck a choice scarf on this thing, depending on what Pokemon you're bringing alongside you. If they're all physical, you can then just chuck in Screech. If they're all special, you can chuck in Metal Sound. So realistically, you know, the sky's your limit with this Pokemon. I really, really like it, and I think it is such a really fantastic, good Pokemon that you can definitely use. Anyways, that's going to be all for today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here, so have a good one, and I'll see you soon.